guys, welcome back to my channel, Designer Secrets, Tips, Tricks, and Hacks, Evening Edition. I normally record during the day, but it didn't work out today. So here we are, and it's going to be good anyways. So we are going to talk about kitchen cabinet colors and floor colors. And if you are remodeling or building new, you will know which colors go with what other colors. I get asked this a lot. So I want to make sure everybody has the right information to make an informed choice. And I am excited to show you these things as well as many of my other videos. Check them out because you're going to get a lot of good tips from me and you'll be able to design like a professional. So let's get started. Okay, so let's talk about kitchen cabinets and floor colors. So this is a whole entire screen of do not do. And the basic reason is that the floors match the cabinets. So it looks like you cut down an entire forest and built all of your house out of it. And we don't want that because nothing stands out, nothing looks important. It all just kind of blends together. So we don't want to do the natural cabinets with natural floor, the espresso cabinets with an espresso floor, mid walnut tone cabinets with a walnut floor, cherry, you get it, and so on and so forth. So that's rule number one. Do not match your floor to your kitchen cabinets because, quite honestly, more than likely it's going to be a you kind of did, but you missed by a little bit. So let's stay away from that. So instead, let's start with the medium brown walnut. Now I'm saying walnut, and that may or may not be the species of wood, but it's the stain color. So we go back to the top left here with the don't do, because it's the matchy match. So you either want to do a lighter floor or a darker floor, and it may be wood, it may be tile. However, obviously there's the laminate floor option that looks like wood or tile, vinyl, blah, 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 blah. So in general, just this applies to everything. So let's just look at it that way. So in the bottom left, you'll see it's a nice dark brown wood that is in the same general dark brown wood tone as the medium brown cabinet. So it's a nice contrast. And in that same vein, you'll see here the lighter floor that is still got those brown undertones with the brown cabinets. And in the top right corner, you'll see that it is the nice contrasting white tile. However, it doesn't have to be just plain white as long as you stick to the brown tones. Maybe it's a light beige or a brown, something in that family. Stay away from the grays because basically the grays and the browns may compete, and there are applications that could work. However, I'm trying to give you the simplified version so you don't make a mistake. And in that same idea as well, at the bottom picture here, you see it's a dark black floor basically. And again, stay away from anything that's too gray, and it could have a little bit of pattern to it. That's fine. But then you still have the contrast and it looks good. It makes your cabinets stand out. So in the espresso cabinets, the top left again, even though it's just slightly different, that was the best picture I could find. However, you don't want it to match. And that floor in that picture actually is a very deep, deep, deep red color, which that in general is something to stay away from because it really comes off looking cheap every time I've seen it, it's not looked good. I'm sure there are some options that do look good, but personally, it's really hard to pull off to where it doesn't look cheap. So just stay away from that really red color. So instead, the picture below it, you see a nice light, kind of a sandy color wood. That's beautiful. It still picks up those brown tones, but really sets those cabinets off. And in the top here, you've got kind of a white tile. Again, it looks like it might have some kind of a little beige marble effect in there. And these are just examples. So it's the tone of the tile I'm talking about, or the tone of the wood that I'm talking about. So you can go out, find something that has a little pattern to it or striation, but it is that general tone you want to stick with. And in the bottom right corner, it's more of a mid-tone brown, but again, it still has a lot of contrast. It's not super light, but it has a really nice look, and again, still makes those cabinets stand out. And in these cabinets here, again, top left, you've got the matchy match, and again, nothing really stands out. So below, you'll see you have a much darker wood finish on those. And again, it still has the brown tones in both the floor and the cabinets. They are not competing. They coordinate. It's almost like if you took the cabinets and darkened down the stain, then that's the floor color that you end up with. Same idea in the opposite direction here in the middle is still brown tones, however, much lighter. So if you lightened up those cabinet stain colors, that would be the floor color that you end up with. And on the right two pictures, you've got a deeper tone tile and a lighter tone tile. But again, you've got kind of a brown tone with some beige striation marble look in this picture, and then a dark black tile here in the bottom. And again, as I've said repeatedly, I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but in case anybody's skipping around in the video, you will know that it doesn't have to be this exact tile. It can have a little bit of pattern to it, and you are good to go as long as you stick with these color palettes. In these cabinets, kind of a medium oak, maybe maple, but it's just got that complete natural finish to it. And the top left again is a no because it's just too bland. The picture below, you've got a nice light tile that is still in that light color family, but because it is an even lighter tone with a slight beige background, it works with those cabinets. The center photo, you can play around with some pattern. You can on the other ones. These light cabinets, however, are really easy to work with because they're so neutral. So if you want to have some fun and put a little pattern in there, this is the perfect opportunity if you have these color cabinets, or if you are building something new or renovating, you can do something like this. It's a great combination. And the picture below that, it is really beautiful to do. Again, same tone as the cabinets, but a few shades darker. So pretend you have your cabinet door and you just put some darker stain on it, then that would be the floor color that perfectly coordinates. To the right of that, again, it's an even deeper version of that cabinet color. So it coordinates nicely. This one is a little bit more red, which is fine. You just don't want to go too red because, like I said previously, it might cheapen up the look a little bit and just be too much of a contrast with wood tones. And above that, black tile goes pretty much with anything, and because these cabinets are so light, black is completely fine to do because it's not going to darken the room so much that it makes it feel cave-like. So on these very traditional cherry cabinets, which I'm sure a lot of you have, uh, again, top left is a no because that just is nothing stands out. It just doesn't look good. So below that, you've got a nice light, almost a maple floor. Just be careful you don't go too yellow. This one is slightly yellow, but it was the best example again that I could find. You just want to stay away from anything that is edging towards that golden tone when you have red cherry cabinets. The middle photo, the gray wood tone is beautiful with the cherry cabinets. Those are very complementary colors. And above that, you have a brown wood tone. You just got to be careful that it doesn't get too brown going into that orangey family again, just like I said on the lighter color. It does have a little contrast. It's not quite as dramatic as the other ones. However, it's still enough to where it doesn't look like you have tried to match your cabinets and missed, or that you just took a stain color and did your whole entire kitchen in the same thing. It can be subtle, but as long as it looks different, that is the key that I'm going for here. On the right with the tile, again, you can do the light color like in the top right, and pattern tile size variation. That's completely up to you. That looks great. This one has kind of a travertine look, which is nice because the cherry cabinets are very traditional. Travertine is a very traditional stone look. So those two are very complementary. And below that is a dark black with maybe a little bit of a gray tone running through it. You don't want to get too gray, like I said before, just enough to kind of offset the cherry tone in the wood. So let's talk about wood stain versus the wood species. And these are some great examples so that you can see, because I know a lot of you have the very typical 2-inch red oak, which if you look down in the very bottom, that's the raw wood color. So you've got pine, birch, poplar, white oak, and red oak. Most oak floors in builder grade homes are going to be red oak because it's a very inexpensive wood, but it is also extremely hard and durable. However, it does pull red, as in the name, obviously, and can look pink depending on what you put on it. So you do need to be careful if you are installing or refinishing these floors. So that's why I wanted to show you what different stain colors do. And these are all Minwax. Obviously, there are other manufacturers, but this is kind of a good jumping off point because a lot of the big box stores like Home Depot, Lowe's carry Minwax. So you can get the little sample containers and try it out for yourself. And disclaimer, definitely if you are refinishing, do some spot tests once you've sanded down the floors, just because monitor colors on your screen can be very different from real life. I am showing you this, but I still want you to check it out yourself. So back to the finishes. So on every one of these pictures, you're going from pine to birch to poplar to white oak to red oak. So in the top left, you can see the pickled oak finish, and you can see what a difference it makes depending on what species it is. So again, that's why I say make sure that you sample this on your own floor if you are remodeling. Below that is the Simply White stain. You need to be careful because the white can look kind of like a top coat as opposed to a stain if you put too much on, and it looks milky. So hopefully you have somebody that's a professional doing this for you, or if you're doing DIY, definitely do a little test area to make sure you're applying it to the look that you want. Middle, we've got the golden oak, which is very, very, very popular. And I'm sure a lot of you that have floors in the red oak have the golden oak stain. In the top right, you've got the dark walnut, and that is definitely a good way to darken down the floor, give it a little bit of a deeper tone, and make it look really rich and deep, as well as the Minwax Jacobin. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's okay because you guys get the drift, and that is the finish. It's very similar to the dark walnut. And quite honestly, I can't tell a whole lot of difference. So again, that's why you take it home and try it on your own floor. And if you have painted cabinets, that's fantastic. These are some really good color combinations for you to work with that are tried and true. They look great together. So top left, you've got navy white and a medium brown floor, very traditional. That's not going to go out of style. It's just a beautiful, rich look. Below that, gray, white, and a natural floor. The natural color really stands out against that gray tone on the cabinets. And then in the middle there, top, you've got green, white, and a gray brown floor. Kind of a mid-tone color. It's light and fresh and a very natural look. Right now, greens are really coming into popularity, and personally, I love it because green is my absolute favorite color. So I'm glad that it is back with a vengeance. Next to that, you've got the white, black, and natural scheme with a patterned black and white floor. And because the natural wood island and the black cabinets are such neutral tones, doing something with pattern on the floor is a great way to spice that up. Because if you did something that was just like a flat white or of black or dark gray, it wouldn't have that pop that it does with this pattern floor. Below that, you've got burnt orange and a blue-gray cabinet and an orangey brown floor. So the blue-gray and the orange play very well together. They look beautiful in combination. And the floor having that brown tone with just a little bit of orange that coordinates with your chairs and probably any accessories you put in there. It's just an overall really nice look. On the top right corner, you've got the taupe cabinets, white and a cherry floor. And the taupe here, taupe can go a lot of different directions. This one has a little bit of a red undertone to it. So with the cherry floor that has a lot of red to it, it plays together really well, and it's a beautiful color combination. And the final one on the bottom right, you've got the gray-green cabinets, white tile, and a medium brown floor. So you've still got that natural feel. Even though it's a gray cabinet with the green, it kind of makes it a little bit more of an organic, natural feel. And that medium brown floor is really beautiful, juxtaposed against that cabinet paint color. Okay, so now that you have the tools that you need to make a informed decision on what color floor goes with what color kitchen cabinets, hopefully you feel secure in making a great decision, and I know you will. And for other tips and tricks on other aspects of interior design, please check out my other videos. There's a lot of really good, easy ways you can improve the look of your home at very little cost and very little effort. So I suggest that you look at those. And as always, if you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Have a great day. Thanks.